So this was my first time in this part of Sweden. I've been to Stockholm, I've been to Skellefteå before. When I arrived on Monday, the course was already set up. Dealing with a little bit of rain here and there. Just learning the course and figuring out which discs I really want to throw. It's fun to switch the bag out, and I feel like a lot of the tournaments so far in Europe have been that way, where it's like you're shaping shots, you're controlling speeds. From what I've heard, it's pretty much the capital of disc golf, the disc golf mecca in Sweden. Went to Gothenburg from Oslo with Hannah, Billy, and Joey, and we decided to take a train, which was a really cool experience. So we went to Gothenburg, and then on our way there, that's kind of where we picked up our rental car, and also met Joey's parents for lunch, and just hung out for the day, and kind of had some fun storms hit there, so it was kind of a pain to get the rental car like always, but we were able to get a rental van, and wasn't ideal, but we got a van that really worked out for the trip. But once we got the van, we headed over to Boras for the night, and yeah, so that was Monday, day one. So Monday night, we did a signing for the Paul McBeth Foundation, hosted at the course, which has it's a really cool kind of ski. Oh man, all sorts of sports. I think they said they have 13 sports that are involved there at this one property, and disc golf being one of, and I think the newest. But it's kind of more like a banquet hall with a cafeteria and stuff. So we did a little just speech about the foundation, Joey and I. Joey's actually been on every Paul McBeth Foundation trip outside the US so far. And so we both did a little speaking, answered some questions about the foundation, and just signing and pictures. So it was a really cool night, and that's how we wrapped up day one.
I can't say anything. Just look at this.
My name is Henrik Rydén. I'm from Boras, and I'm the TD for Swedish Open. I started playing disc golf in 2008. I played with some friends from work. Then I met the brothers of Svensson, and then I got hooked. So that's the story behind that one. Yeah. I met the Svensson brothers actually through racket sports. We hooked up during a racquetball tournament. It's a different sport, but and Daniel, he just I think he hooked me up on Messenger or something and asked me, I see you play some disc golf. Would you like to join the club? We are 20, 30 people. You should come. And yeah, that was the thing about that as well. So.
My name is Mikael Svensson. I live here in Borås. I'm the chairman of the club, Ymergårdens. 2005, I think it was. I saw a note on a tree on one course. Oh, let's start a club, a disc golf club.
From a person called Roger, who was asking, is there any disc golf players here in town, and would you like to start a club together, more or less?
As we started it, a few other people came along and joined, so...
And there was a lot of debate, what should this club be called? Mikael, he always liked to come up with different kinds of names, and one was the Borås Disc Machines, which is sort of a Swinglish thing for a dishwasher. It's a disc machine. Fun. Well, yeah, we sort of, maybe that's a bit too silly. So we ended up with the Borås General Disc Golf Club, which was quite a bad name, but still. But the three letters for that in Swedish became BAD, so bad. But then we were contacted actually by the Ymer club, which is up here at Ymergården.
So the main club that we are a part of has been around since 1917. And they had a lot of different sports over the years, like boxing has been a big part, track and field, of course, orienteering, cross-country skiing, gymnastics, a lot of different sports, and it's good in like when you have a big tournament like Swedish Open, you can help each other. So maybe someone has things that we need, a lot of knowledge how to run events. So that's also a good thing we could help each other with.
They reached out to us and we found the potential in the area. Then it of course kicked off this part of our disc golf history here. Without this, we shouldn't be that big as we are right now.
Yeah, when we got this sort of invitation from Ymer to become part of this bigger club, we saw it as a great opportunity actually, because we were so small and we didn't really have any place to be or any way to sort of expand the club, because the two small courses we played at, they were part of this local government. They were sort of owning them, so we couldn't really do anything there. So we really wanted to find some place where we could start to actually build our own course and have a place to grow the club. So it was a great excitement when we got this opportunity.
So the area around the course, it's a general woods area, and it was starting to grow, a lot of bushes everywhere, and people didn't really like to hike here any longer, so they were seeking for someone to maintain the area, you could say.
They thought that we need more activity actually, so otherwise it starts growing too much. We have to keep this open in some way. So you disc golfers maybe want to build a course here? Yeah, for sure, we wanted to. So we're joining Ymer, so since 2008 we are Ymer Frisbee, a part of big club Ymer, and start building our own course here, which was set 2010. So in the beginning they didn't know actually what disc golf was, so they were a bit confused, and they wondered if we are willing to have some kind of responsibility towards the big club, and so are you ready to do that? And yeah, for sure, we said. So once they saw what disc golf was and how nice it was looking in the nature, it was more like as a park actually. So since then they have been very positive to us.
We're the biggest part of the club now, so we have had a good growth here. So, and also over the years, the other parts of the club sort of understands disc golf better, so they can also help us better. Also the personnel who works here can help. They understand what it's like, so it's so perfect for us.
When we started to clean up, people saw that, okay, they can do something to the area. The last year we have been really accepted, and we do a lot for the area and for the club as well.
So Wednesday morning, after we had settled a little bit, we had the opportunity to go on a little tour of the town, an art tour actually. And Mikael took us, and he had a friend / tour guide that would take us around, walk us around the town. And Boras really got into street art like maybe a decade ago or so. And they've had art festivals ever since, which would bring in artists and sculpt, like people that'll make sculptures and things like that for the town. So we went on this little tour that showed off a lot of these pieces that they've had done, from huge murals on the side of buildings. They had some of these pieces of art all throughout the town, and it was almost like a I Spy book, you know. He would walk us and we would almost pass one until he stopped us and showed us, hey, this is so-and-so, they did this painting, there's a bunch of them, you'll have to walk through the town to find some more. But it was really cool to see all the different pieces of art, all the sculptures, the uniqueness of how it's kind of just almost feels like a game of hide and seek with all these pieces of art, but also how they've kind of influenced so much in that town as well. Because these pieces have influenced the other artists that have come through, and some of these artists that have done this work have come back to Boras to do more, and actually do more to their pieces as well. So really unique, really cool downtown where you can find food, see the art, just have a good time, and very central place.
Building the course up here at Ymergården had been a long story, but it started out in 2008, and it was Mikael Svensson in the beginning who was the driver, and he took help from a guy called Daniel from a city close by that had designed some courses.
So Ymergårdens disc golf course is like a technical course, a wooden course, and when we designed it, we wanted it to make Important to have many different kinds of shots and shot shaping and angle control. So not who throws furthest wins, but yeah, lots of technique and finesse, and so that's important to us. So the inspiration for our tee pads, I think it came from the European Open on the Beast course, hole 17 or 18 or both, I think. That the way they look gave us ideas of something like that would be cool to have. So we created our own like how we wanted it to look, and we tried it, and we thought it feels really good, and it looks good.
And it was quite fun because there was such different kind of labor you had to do. I mean, digging, of course, a lot of digging. You had to dig holes for the baskets where to put them. You had to dig for the tee pads, find a place to put them, do a lot of digging, put out gravel, then run this machine to make it sort of smooth, the gravel. It was quite fun, I think.
The crew who built the course, we basically stopped playing that year. We only focused on building the course. Took almost a year, I would say. A lot of hard work, running around, no ATV or something to help. It was manual labor, so to speak. So
we took our own cars, driving out in the woods with stuff, and standing in the evenings with the light from the cars, digging in the ground, putting down stones. Yeah, so it was fun. A lot of work. We were climbing in trees with cutting the trees. Many hours put in this course from me and from the core team, I should say. The brother Svensson, of course, and some others as well.
Lots of hours of hard work, of course. We got some help with machines from City of Boras, obviously on some holes. It was important, but most of it is our own hard work and muscles, and yeah, and lots of hours, of course.
as soon as the course was done and ready and opened in May 2010, people started to come here, of course. The first 18-hole course in this region.
Quite quickly actually started to noting more and more people found their way up here. We also had in this Ymer club, they had like these days where the different sports in the club could sort of show the sport. So they had like these days, general public could come there, they could try out different things. So we usually participated in those events the first years to try to get more people in. Sort of, we brought a couple of baskets, people got to do like putting competitions. So from there we actually got quite a lot of interested disc golfers to start playing.
The last 2-3 years we rebuilt and it has been a totally new course, I should say. Some of the holes are original ones, but we have also rebuilt them a little bit. So hole 1, for example, is from start, more or less the same, maybe added some distance. But it's mainly a wooded course we had really narrow fairways from the beginning. We have widened them a little bit, and yeah, now it's 90% a wooden course, I should say.
The first thing you see when you're walking towards the disc golf course is this really creative green, like a putting green. They got 3 baskets. There's like 12 or 18 putting stations. It's all turf, and it's just, you know, they got these like drops, these hills, these trees in the way, just so you can get all sorts of reps in on the putting green. And then you step up, and they actually got 2 courses. One will peel off to the right, the other one kind of goes straight down the first hole fairway. So we played the Gold course, a very technical course with a good mixture of out of bounds, handful of mandatories, and then they have a signature hole, which I believe is hole number 5. And it's just like a long downhill 730 or 720 foot par 4, but is reachable off the tee if you can control your tee shot that long. And then a lot of elevation change. It was more control your shots, fairways, mids, putters, everything pretty much off the tees. And I think the only time I threw distance drivers were forehands. And just very unique piece of property, a lot of fun to play. Obviously, this time in Europe, you got to deal with the elements too. So we got our fair share of rain throughout the week.
I don't know if I'll ever fully know if I'm doing the right thing, because I feel like I can always do more. But one thing that I learned earlier this year was just, if you can just help someone and then go out and reach just one more person, that's something that stuck with me, was just one more. Just see if you can touch one more life. Like, don't be like, I want to change the world, I want to change this. Just change one life. And that goes such a long way, because if we can all just help one person, I think we'd be set.
We're about to start our first round here at the Swedish Open, our first practice round, joined by the American Joseph, the Swedish Joseph, and we're both mic'd up, and then we have Billy. You might see him sneak in a little bit, but he's not mic'd up, but he'll try to sneak in a few words here and there. But yeah, it's the first look at the course here. Looking forward to it. This is a local course for you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, we're just gonna play, get ready for the tournament, chat, do our thing. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's further than it looks, apparently.
Yeah. You could throw like a mid-range to it if you bomb it, but
It says 403 feet. That's far.
yeah, it's far.
That's not.
I would say
that's definitely
fading down left is like
not where you want to go.
it's better than right. That's cool.
Where did you grow up? Like hometown.
So my hometown where I was born is Gothenburg,
Okay.
which is quite close.
Yeah, about an hour or so or closer.
Yeah. But when I was 5 years old, we moved abroad actually to Turkey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't know disc golf at all when you were young?
No. I started playing when I was 18 or 19.
Okay, and where did you discover disc golf?
I discovered it close by here on like a summer camp.
Okay.
I was a leader and we had a break. And we had some disc golfs with us, and I found a course and started
Really?
playing.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you end up finding, is this your home course? Like this is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay.
Well, we moved here. I lived in Turkey before.
Yeah.
So we lived there for like 5 or 6 years, and then we moved here because we had friends. Yeah, this is the main course in the town, so.
360.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, I am local, but I don't play this course that much. We have a second course actually in the town, which is better for practicing.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's drier and less people.
Yes. So it's actually funny because in the States there's places like that. I tell people, all the best courses in the U.S., no great players come from them.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know if it's because one, they're busy, two, they're just so challenging that you don't learn much.
Yeah.
But I don't know, but most players come from like smaller courses where you can kind of just be very creative. So how long ago did you go pro, and what made you decide to go pro?
So here in Sweden, at least, in Europe, I think we don't really think about going pro or not. Everybody basically, when I signed up for PDGA, everybody just got the pro license right away. And but now when there's more amateurs, it's kind of been a thing about like divisions and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I went pro officially right from the start. I'm touring now, and I did that for the first time kind of last year.
Okay.
But this time is full-time disc golf.
719 feet.
Sorry.
It doesn't look that far.
No, you could reach it with a fairway easily. No, not easily, but you could. But it's a fun hole. You could throw it like just putter and then have a short upshot. But
yeah, because what we watched yesterday, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
Ring the bell before you throw, because it is such a big hole. You don't want to hit anyone in case they're in the woods. So here we go.
You probably should do it higher. Oh no.
Watch the Annie skip
Wrong angle.
Look at this guy. Oh, shoot. Same line.
Stable.
Yeah, it does look a lot straighter from this side. There's the inside line. Like, what's the history of the Swedish Open, and like, what does it mean to the Swedish disc golf community?
So there's not a lot of history, but I think this will grow into a better and better event, and definitely means a lot to bring players like yourself to this area because of the big community of disc golfers here.
And is it has it been a big international event before? Like maybe more players in like the mainland of Europe, or has it kind of just been Sweden and Norway and Finland? Or?
It was primarily Sweden and like some Denmark and some Finnish. I guess Avery was here last year. But this is the first year where it's like proper, a proper field. And,
Yeah, because I know there's Thomas Gilbert's coming. We got Canada represented.
Yeah, a lot of Finns, Niklas.
Yeah.
And
Yep, Niklas, and then some other Finns. And all right, cool. And Estonians, lots of Estonians.
Yes. I think this is like a really disc golf mecca in Sweden, and I think you will be surprised about the amount of spectators that will come out. And
Have you watched any of the other tournaments yet on the Euro Tour and seen like kind of the spectators?
yeah, I've been playing all of them.
Well, that's true. You have been playing them.
Yeah.
Have you followed or seen the calories at all? And what do you think? Think this is going to be the biggest and best so far?
I think so. I guess Krukl was quite amazing also. That was a big gallery.
Yes.
And this is more of a tight course, and so it'll be feeling more, even if it's maybe the same.
Okay.
But I think it'll be definitely comparable to Krukl. Yeah. I remember this as very much.
Is that good?
It's like the whole like Krukl.
Oh,
It might be a little bit tight.
yeah, that was.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a little bit like that.
Like
Billy went bank shot. What? Putting this? Yeah, do you want me to make it? Watch this. Airball left. This is what I wanted.
Okay, that's interesting. It will be interesting to see where that one landed.
Missed that one, Joey. That's just way too high. You lived here for quite a few years now.
Yep.
What is the city known for, and what do you like to do here besides disc golf, of course?
So yeah, I thought it was bigger actually. I thought it was like 10th or something.
Okay.
But well, this city is known for its textile production. We have a lot of like big like textile industry brands having their base here.
Okay.
And what I like to do, I guess there's a lot of like fishing and lakes in the area, so I'd like to go fishing or do stuff like that. But
what do you catch?
It's mostly, I think in English it's northern pike.
Okay, yep.
Maybe bass, abborre. But there's also one other course in town called Gjesslösa, where it was very close to where I lived before.
Okay.
So that's been my main practice course, because this gets quite crowded. But now it's splitting 50-50 maybe, but yeah.
All right. That's awesome, because I know you've been on the tour this year, so you've gotten a big, wide variety, so it's good to know.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm throwing the disc well and like my form's good, I'm never sore or tired.
Never?
Never. But when I'm not throwing it well, my body hurts so bad, and yeah, so that's when I know I'm doing things wrong.
Yeah.
All or nothing for ice cream. Gotta get up and down from there. Oh, not a chance. Oh, 35 feet left for ice cream. He's never.
Easy.
cherry chocolate, please.
Cherry chocolate. You mentioned earlier a little bit about how the course has changed, and you don't remember some of the numbers or know the numbers. Why did it change?
So we had a big cross-skiing, we have a big cross-skiing club down here, and then like an arena, and they were having the Swedish nationals here. So they built like this big facility, and we basically had to move from there. So we put those holes into the forest there. We missed some of the longer holes maybe on that area, but we have, I think it's gotten way more beautiful now, because it's more like shaped. That was more like in a big area, and a little bit different environment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And like this one's really pretty. I mean, you got this rock formation, and then I don't know what that is, house over there, but like the way that the sun's setting. This is probably about the time lead card, feature card will be rolling through here, so it's real pretty.
Yeah, so that's all of that is taken from the grounds where they farm. And when they make it farmable, I guess they take those stones and make walls like this and kind of define property lines, as you said.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So that could be hundreds of years old potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Blair. You should probably throw mid-range or a putter. Putter is like pushing it, but like straight down to the right. It's very hard to explain, and I have not figured this one out yet. So
That was so bad, but it might
oh,
work.
that might be good. You probably like skipped here and went further if it's in bounds.
Little OB.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing the course. Looks like it's going to be very enjoyable for the weekend. I know you haven't played it a whole lot with this new layout, so I look forward to competing this weekend. I just want to thank you for walking me through this course, showing me and teaching me a little bit about you and the history of disc golf here in Sweden.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here. It will be an honor playing with you on Friday at least.
Feature card.
Yep,
So
that'll be nice.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
No worries. So Thursday night we had the players meeting / players dinner.
I think it's a pork shoulder with barbecued pork shoulder and potato salad and pasta salad, and my brother is doing all the appetizers inside.
During the samplers, we did our players meeting where he kind of just explained, hey, this is the course, if anyone's got any questions, and basically just, you know, did the thing we needed to know for the event. And then after we had a dinner, and after the dinner, for the people that wanted to stick around, the 4 running the event made a disc golf trivia, and I think it was 15 or 20 questions, and basically about all sorts of stuff, some European stats, some American stats, all sorts of disc golf questions, and I won't say how I did because it wasn't too good, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, hopefully there's more of those in the future because it is enjoyable, but yeah, that went well, smooth, and then Friday came along.
When it comes to tournaments, we started out already the second year, I think. We had a local championship for the west coast of Sweden. And then we found it pretty fun to run tournaments. Running a tournament is a lot of work, but at the same time, it gives you a lot of things back as well.
We started building a reputation, I would say, in Disc Golf Sweden that we can host good tournaments. So often when the players came here, we got good feedback, and yeah, sort of rumors started spreading all the way up to the larger national disc golf organization that, yeah, Ymer seems to be a good place. So
Where the idea came from, I think we just probably around a few beers, the 3 brothers and Henrik, the TD, I think we just came up with the idea that we should have our own tournament that's not on the national tour or like a Swedish championship, but our own tournament.
At that time, 2018 this was, we didn't have any 3-day tournaments, more or less. The Swedish championships, I think, had 3 days, but that was the only thing. It was 2 days, and often you played 2 rounds every day. So we saw an opportunity to, we wanted to create something. We have had some tournaments like that in the past, but not anymore. And so we said, should we create something? And we said we should have a 3-day tournament, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 round with tee times, etc. And then
The name Swedish Open, no one has ever used that in disc golf. We have to grab it. That should be our competition here. So that's the start. And then we started thinking, and let's do it. So 2019, we did it for the first time. So lots of good Swedish players came here, and we also dared to send a question to Mr. Avery Jenkins. And I texted him and asked him, would you be interested in coming to Sweden? And he said, yeah. So that was really cool.
But we didn't have that high number of international players, but some of them. And the thought from the beginning was to have it every second year. But the COVID came, and then last year we decided, let's go for it again. We got some more international players, Blair, Jakub, and some guys. It was a pretty good tournament, I think, at that time. And then more or less we were asked to apply for a Euro Tour, and here we are.
We were really stoked to be part of the Euro Tour. We knew we wanted to invest our time and energy into making the tour, and also proud to be on the tour now. So a lot of happy emotions then. So.
Yeah, we wanted to do something even bigger. So that was a joint feeling among the four brothers that we wanted to do something bigger. And then, yeah, Euro Tour was definitely the next step. When we actually got part of this, it was a thrill, I would say. It was, yeah, so cool to actually be part of a Euro Tour.
It has been growing, and then we have always had a vision for maybe having a Euro Tour once. And yeah, now we are here. It's fun, and also personally for me, it's 2014. I was at the IDGC for the Tournament Directors Cup, and me and Daniel was there, and then we met a lot of other TDs, and then it took off. It's fun to be a TD. It's fun to organize things, and seeing all this we have here now, yeah, it's great.
So Friday came along, feature card with myself, Niklas, Josef Berg, and then the young kid, 15-year-old Hjalmar, lefty, young lefty.
And the first player to tee off, sponsored by Discraft and Grip Bags, a 6-time world champion from Huntington Beach, California, Paul McBeth.
Yeah, so round one went. I played decent. I don't want to say I played great. Played decent, good enough to be on the lead card again. But it was really cool to just have a gallery, you know, already day one. Round one is over. It didn't finish as planned. 2 off the lead after doubling the final hole. So hole 9 I needed to work on, and the final hole I needed to work on. It was just so windy. And just kept pushing up on the hill, pushing up on the hill, pushing up on the hill. So finished with a double bogey, but 2 off the lead, can't complain. A lot of people showed up. It's hard to tell though how many people showed up exactly because it's such a wooded course that every hole just seems jam-packed, but a couple hundred people, but I have no clue how many. It's just too hard to tell.
So seeing this happening right now here at Swedish Open, it's like, yeah, it's a dream coming true. Emotionally, it's like, yeah, it's top of the world right now, and it's all the work we've put in, it's worth it. So, to just see this happening right now is really giving some motivation and energy, of course. Getting some feedback about the course, how to improve it, especially for the big crowds. Maybe improve it so it's getting a little bit more difficult for the big players, of course. Hosting maybe even bigger events in the future. You never know. Euro Tour will grow as well, so the tournaments will probably be bigger, I think. More people from the States, more players from the States will be here playing, I think. This is more or less the start of it. Bigger money, of course, will come into the sport. We have a pretty good payout this week, but when also the companies see that you could promote things through disc golf, that will be something else. Then the money will come in, and then the players come, and the crowd will come, and yeah, we'll keep on rolling, I think.
Yeah, to describe the feeling of this moment is it's hard to put words on it, actually, since so many years, so many hours, so much thinking, worries. How will this turn out? Can the course survive? Yes, it can. And then creating the Swedish Open and make it bigger, and now see this interest. So it's hard to take in, actually. So I think after this year's tournament, it will take a week or two, and then it will sink in, I think. So right now it's quite hard to put words on it, but it feels, yeah, big, and it makes me warm inside, I must say. So really cool.
I feel very proud and honored to see so many great players play here on this course that I've been spending so many hours on, working, also playing, of course, but it's sort of an energy boost that it's worth all the hours that you spend here. When you see happy people playing and enjoy the course, so it's just, the mind is always spinning. You can always discuss course design, and always, when there's a tournament, you always think we could have another tee there for the goal layout and things like that. So it's just kind of an energy boost. It's you drain yourself up until and during an event, and but then afterwards you're filled with new energy to approach new, bigger challenges.
So arranging this kind of a competition together with my brothers, I have to say, it's a really great feeling. We have sort of obviously grown up together, but doing this kind of event gives me a good feeling. It feels good to do something like this with your brothers, to be sort of so close to them. So I feel like every time we do this kind of tournament, we get a bit closer to each other.
Round two, we had Niklas, Dennis, who Dennis shot very well, round one, and then Peter Lund. Round two, and Niklas, just hole one, just throws it so well on hole one. Day one, parked it. Day two, parked it. So it was a little bit slower start for myself. I couldn't get one both days. Front nine goes on, and all of a sudden I found myself like 5 or 6 strokes back of the lead, and not where I want to be at any point in that tournament. But it was the first time where I was like, all right, I really need to click into a zone. I need to like get in the zone and figure this out, because I'm chasing, but I need to get excited about chasing, because I see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. I see it come back. It was just a different mode all of a sudden, where I was like, all right, I'm gonna start knocking off strokes, climbing back into this, and making a move. And I was able to do that, especially on the back nine, and just kind of get right back into it. I think I was right there until hole 15. Very unfortunate OB kick, and kicked me out of bounds. I ended up bogeying that hole, and then just kind of like momentum was lost because I was really making a move. Was able to put it right on the edge of the circle on 16, and then 17 threw a decent shot, and then the always tough hole 18. I found trouble on it day one, lots of trouble on it day one, so wanted to make adjustment day two. Put my drive down there, but unfortunately wasn't in a position to where I could go for a bird. Kind of just took my par and said, all right, this is where I'll be for round 3. I played well, just had 2 bad kicks at win OB, which could have gone, if they would have went the other way, would have been looking at birdies, so that was unfortunate. But 3 off the lead after the way Niklas played today is something I can't complain about, because he was rattling off birdies early in the round, so I had to play a lot of catch up. And I was within 1 or 2, and then the last 4 holes were not so kind. It wasn't that bad. It was just rain, no wind, easy to avoid. And turf, their pads here are pretty good. I wouldn't say they're perfect because they're very mounded, so if you get off the edge, you kind of slip. There was a couple of those, but yeah, it was a solid day. Kind of just gray, just not an exciting weather kind of day, but the crowd still showed up. Still a couple hundred people in that rain, so that was really cool. And tomorrow doesn't look too much different than today. It'll be a fun battle. Head into round 3. Cards the same. Got Dennis, got Niklas, but we switched out Peter for Bradley. Bradley shot a great second round. Was setting up for a battle between Niklas and I. So weather wasn't ideal, but for Niklas and I, it was scoring conditions. And we just had an insane battle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I had a 2-stroke lead with 5 holes remaining. Lost a stroke on 14, and then he just threw a great drive. I kind of threw mine into the ground. And then 15, it got me again. Kicked me OB, had to throw a good upshot to save my bogey. Niklas had a putt for birdie, and it's a really hard green because it's elevated a little bit, and then you got the wind blowing in off the field there. He ended up airballing his putt, and then stayed in bounds, made his par putt, so all of a sudden we were tied with 3 holes left. Well, he threw kind of an errant tee shot on 16, but stayed in bounds, and he made a really good putt. And I was parked, so I got the birdie. 17, he threw his long outside the circle a good bit, canned his putt, and then I had to hit a tricky straddle putt. And we were still tied going to 18, and 18, it's such a hard hole through this tunnel. Wind's always blowing up it, and then it's got a late mandatory. And Niklas threw his on the perfect line, but ended up being OB by probably that much because he hit a tree as he was coming back in. I saw his line, I saw it went OB. I couldn't tell how it went OB, so I just kind of played off that line and left it quite a bit shorter. And then his second shot to try to get up and down for bogey, he just pulled it over and gave himself really no chance for the par. So from there, all I had to do was par to get the win. So I kind of put mine out there, probably about 80, 90 feet away from the basket. And he missed his attempt to throw it in. And I accidentally threw mine in to win it in a crazy fashion. But just such a great battle. Niklas are 1-1 now on this Europe trip. And Bradley and I are 1-1 now. So felt good to take them down in that tournament because they both got me earlier in this trip.
So, Swedish Open champion, Paul McBeth!
Getting the news about Paul McBeth coming here was, of course, great news. It was actually Mikael Bui from Heatland Disc Golf. He was traveling to the States in Florida, and he had some contact with Paul, and we had some contact to Messenger, and he said that it could be the case here. And then it was a couple of weeks after New Year, I think it was decided. Getting that name here, personally, is a favorite player, so happy news.
Kind of surreal seeing him play the course you've spent so many years on and developing and such, but also a lot of good emotions about that.
Sort of weird feeling, it's been surreal. We have also discussed it among the brothers and with Henrik that it feels so strange that Paul McBeth is walking around here on this course that we once designed and built. You sort of start thinking back on these memories, like, oh, we were these 10, 15 people who started building the course up here, middle of nowhere in the forest, all that work, and then some 12, 13 years later, a 6-time world champion is here. I mean, it's crazy.
To just get the name on the poster, having the Boras citizens seeing that the world champion is here, that is so awesome. It's a different level, but having Paul McBeth here is something that is beyond that.
I think this year's Swedish Open will be more visible here for Sweden and in Boras in specific, of course. So people talk more and more about it, and it will give us lots of publicity and inspiration and energy to keep it going and to do even more and better. So yeah, really important.
Yeah, watching this competition has been truly amazing. I feel so energized after these days. Even though I spent a lot of hours here, I feel like I have so much more energy now. Watching all these amazing players play has been great. And yeah, this final round today and the lead card was amazing. And such a battle. I mean, it was going back and forth all the time. It was impossible to predict how it would end. And it was so cool. We were discussing among the groups, it would be really cool if we could actually finish on hole 18, have the decider on hole 18, and we got that. So it was the best possible ending.
This Swedish Open week or 2 weeks I've been working full-time with it now, have been just great. A lot of work, and then finally seeing all the people here, the crowds, all the great players. That makes you feel okay. It's something we really. I get a little bit emotional. It's been a lot of stress, but at the same time, it's just awesome.
Overall, just an incredible event, you know, from the staff to the fans to the competition to the course itself. They came and asked for some feedback, and I gave them some ideas on how to just make it longer and more challenging, and how they can attract more players. So I look forward to seeing this. I know it'll be an event in the future for many future tours, whichever tours it ends up on, but I can't wait to come back and see it. And Billy, if Billy could have just held on for 2 more holes, he would have cashed in Sweden. But unfortunately, he thought he was out of it and kind of goofed off and borrowed someone's just to throw. So poor Billy. And yeah, it was great having Hannah there. She walked the 2 tournaments, being pregnant, you know. So that's that was really cool that she was out there, very welcomed, and great event all around. I'm thankful for, you know, for the staff and how they treated us, and you know, just the travel mates that I've had so far. So that's it for Boras. Next stop will be a few days in Stockholm, Sweden, before heading straight up north to latitude 64, Skellefteå. Skellefteå, last time I was there was 2015, and when I was there I stayed in the city center, and this time I was in an Airbnb 3 minutes from the disc golf course, perfect, and about 10 minutes from the city center. So it was cool. I got to see a lot more, drove a lot more, and then the course has changed quite a bit. It was fun to get out there. It was a short trip. This was the shortest trip of all of them. I've played this course back in 2015, and they have made some tweaks and changes to it. The property's the exact same, very well designed course, and probably if I had to pick one up to this point to go back and play a tournament at, it was this one.
me myself, when I play this course, it's one thing, but it's another thing witnessing the greatest player of all times playing the same course.
So I think it's very big for a fan to see someone that you look forward to and look up to.
The fact that there is a local thing going on in a sport that I am interested in, I just thought I would check it out for a few holes and see what the vibe is like, see how people are faring up. And unfortunately it's a bit raining today, but I came to check out what the local disc golf scene was like.
I believe that it is an opportunity for everyone to come see the top elites here in terms of learning, mostly, to see how they attack this course.
I think there's many more people here because the sport grows and much more people get hooked on it, and also that the fact that Paul McBeth, Bradley Williams and all the big pros in the US is here, and I think many people want to see them.